rotated in other directions, and some of them had moons rotating in one direction, and some had moons rotating in other directions, and some had moons rotating in both directions. He created the Earth according to specific parameters, very, very carefully designed parameters, which are all interdependent. The rotation period and the oxygen content and the temperature and the CO2 content and all the available oxygen and carbon dioxide for the plants. He also made the plants so that they breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen, which is just right for us. God made it perfect for man. God made it perfect for man because we are created in the image of God. God created the clouds, and the clouds are part of the water cycle, which are actually mentioned in the scripture. And that's how we have rain. You see, it didn't happen by chance. They just didn't sort of magically appear. No, this is part of the water cycle, because this is how God waters the planet. God created the seas. 2/3 of this earth is covered in sea, and God created the seas. God created the birds. Now, birds are the most amazing things. They fly by flapping their wings. We all take it for granted, but you think about it. Would you be able to make a design, an animal that could fly by flapping its wings? It's quite different from a jet plane or a propeller plane, isn't it? Flapping its wings, and yet they fly for thousands of miles. It's most extraordinary, isn't it? God created them. No human could do that. Only God can do that. God created the little pets we have in our homes. They are perfect in every way. They can see and they can hear and they can smell and they can touch and they can bark and they can reproduce and they can fight off bacteria and viruses and fungi and all sorts of other things. And they are created according to dog DNA. Dog DNA doesn't change into cat DNA, which is why your dog isn't changing into a cat. I'm afraid evolution is a fraud. It doesn't happen. It's impossible. It's impossible. You haven't seen your dog changing into a cat, and you never will. And God created you. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You actually formed in your mother's womb. It says in Psalm 139, you were formed in secret. You were formed in secret by God himself. You actually were formed according to a design, DNA, desoxyribonucleic acid, which God chose, which God created before he created the whole universe. God chose you and me before he created the whole of the universe. We are created in the image of God, and we have spirits within us, and those spirits, when we die, will go back to God, and he will judge us according to how we've lived, how we've responded to Jesus Christ. We've either accepted Jesus Christ into our lives and then we'll go to heaven, or we've rejected him and then we won't. To develop from a tiny egg to a newborn baby in a womb in 9 months is a miracle. Some people say they don't believe in miracles. Well, let me tell you, they haven't studied what happens to babies in the womb. That is a serious miracle. That is creation in the most extraordinary way. To go from a tiny little fertilized egg the size of a grain of salt to a human being in 9 months is a miracle. It really is an extraordinary miracle. Now, the person who did that, his name is Jesus Christ. His name is Jesus Christ. He created all things. We've used lots of images, and we've got permission for virtually all of them, but they're all intended to be used under the fair use clause of the copyright law. We're very, very grateful to Howard and Leslie Conda of Genesis and Revelation TV for so kindly helping in the making of these programs. Without their help and encouragement, these programs would never have been made. You can go on their website, which is revelationtv.com, and I recommend you watch their excellent programs, Genesis TV and Revelation TV. There's further information about creation and evolution on our charity websites, finalfrontier.org.uk and freechristianteaching.org. Plenty of information, free information there. And also this DVD can be downloaded and distributed from the following websites: our own teaching websites, finalfrontier.org.uk and freechristianteaching.org, and we're also going to upload it to videogoogle.com. Now, I'm going to look at the camera now and just talk to you for the last few minutes of this presentation, because this is very, very important. You see, I live in England, United Kingdom, and we used to send missionaries all over the world. We used to send missionaries literally all over the world. I actually had travelled to 27 different countries now, and wherever I go, I see evidence that missionaries have come from this country and been to India, to Pakistan, to the Philippines, to Africa, to the Caribbean, to the States, all over the world. But guess what? Missionaries are not going mostly from England anymore. I mean, we go, but most missionaries don't. Nowadays, the situation has got so serious that countries abroad are sending missionaries to this country. Now, why is this? Why the sudden change? Well, I want to tell you when it all started. It started in 1859 because Charles Darwin wrote a book called The Origin of Species. And in that book, he's basically said that not only did he said that life evolved by chance and that animals evolved into other animals, simple life forms evolved into other life forms, more complicated life forms, and more complicated life forms evolved into monkeys, for example, and we evolved from the monkeys. And that's what Charles Darwin had to say. Now, this is not what we actually see, as I've tried to explain to you, all around the planet. We just don't see this happening. We don't see, if we go to where he did his research in the Galapagos Islands, we don't see animals or birds changing to different animals or birds. We can see what he saw. You can see the different types of finch with different length and width of beaks, but that's microevolution. And that's not evolution at all. That's microevolution. It's variation of a species. That's all it is. We get variation of species at home. You don't have to go to the Galapagos to see variation of species. You can see cats, different type of cats. You can see different types of dogs. You can see different types of canaries. You can see different types of parrots. You can see different types of tortoises. You can see a huge variety of fish. You can see different types of zebras and different types of elephants. But you won't see any of those changing to other forms or other species, because that's the way God made it. Now, the thing is, in order for one species to change to another species, they say that there's gene mutation. Well, I'm a medical doctor. I've seen gene mutation. It's not pleasant. Gene mutation causes disease, and very frequently it's fatal. It kills people. Gene mutation causes cancer. 1/3 of the people in this country die of cancer, and that's basically gene mutation. To say that something that causes cancer, gene mutation, causes evolution is nonsense. That's why I call this evolution is impossible. Now, the thing is that this is a lie which is basically believed mostly in the Western world. Now, I actually travel quite a lot. I've been to Africa a lot. I've been to the Far East quite a lot. And I've been to India and Pakistan. And I've been to the Caribbean. Let me tell you, a lot of communities don't believe in evolution. They think it's laughable. They think it's stupid. They can't understand how anybody could possibly believe that something could arise by chance. They don't believe it. I'm not talking about a religious belief. I'm simply saying they just simply don't believe it. They think it's laughable. I've spoken to people in many, many countries, and they think this is laughable. But that's what we believe. That's what we're taught in our schools and universities. We're taught that everything happened by chance. In fact, they've made a God of chance. Well, our God isn't a God of chance. He made things perfect right first time. You're watching me because you've got a perfect eye. It didn't evolve. It happened perfectly by chance because that's how your DNA was programmed. I want to thank you so much for watching this, and please go to my free website and learn some more. And God bless you so much for watching this. God bless you.
Genesis, a new beginning.
And right across Europe, right across Germany, right across Russia, I prophesied that Europe shall have the message of God.
Thousands of